Hi, my name's Karen Stamper and I'd like to tell you about my new online course, Concertina Sketchbook course, which I've called People. I've always drawn people, especially when I was travelling. I loved sitting drawing people. So I wanted to share this with you. So I haven't called it figure drawing. It's definitely not about learning how to draw the figure. It's about expressively using the figure in our sketchbooks as a design, as a shape really. If I just give you a quick idea, here we've got some collage and we've got an ink drawing on top there. So this time I'm not using the bought Concertina sketchbook. I've made my own and it's from one big sheet of paper because I wanted a long, tall sketchbook. Yeah, in fact, I've made two. I'm going to put the two together. So we're starting with a sheet of paper. We are working with the usual materials, collage papers, inks, gesso, art graph, all those things. So if you've done one of my courses before, you will have all these materials, I think. Yep, pretty much. So it's not an expensive, you don't need an expensive amount of materials. I planned it to be as a 2-day course, like a weekend course. But I think you really need to put a couple of weekends aside to do this, and even longer. It depends how much time you want to take. I work quite quickly. So that's what it's about. We are going to have fun. We're going to use photocopies and stencils quite a lot to give us ideas to start with, but also there's lots of freedom to draw as much as you want or as little as you want, and to have fun with the materials. Now you might ask, do I need to be able to draw figures? I would say not really, because a lot of the time we're using images and photocopies, but you can also go out and draw on location if you're feeling brave. You could also work into them from a life drawing class. You could, as I've done before, go and sit in a shopping centre and draw the models, the mannequins in the windows. Or you can just work from magazines, images, internet, television. So really don't be put off by thinking, oh, I have to draw figures from real life. It's completely up to you. I've only used magazines and second-hand images whilst making this sketchbook, but I feel quite frustrated that I want to go out and draw from real life as well. And you could also use your old books. If you've drawn figures before, we can work from those drawings as well. So you've just got some shapes to work from, basically. I'm calling figures shapes, right? Basically, we want to experiment with lots of different materials. Do you need to have done any of my other courses before? I always advise people to do the houses, the buildings course, Concertina Sketchbooks 1, just so you get to know the way I work, because I work in a very free way, and there's lots of opportunity to go off in your own direction. And for some people, it's best to do that course first, and then you get an idea, and then any of the other courses would be suitable because you've gotten the idea. And it also introduces you to lots of different materials that I use. The Posca pens, art graph, collage papers, things like that. You can complete the course, as I said before, in a weekend if you work solidly and very quickly. You've got the course for life, so you can dip into it in and out as much as you like. All the lessons are pre-recorded, so you can stop and start, you can re-watch them. And you have a community. There's a Facebook community if you're on Facebook, but also now on the Kajabi platform where my courses are stored, there's a community there, so you can also share images and chat to people on there as well. So you can share your work if you want to. As with all my courses, I will lead you step by step. There's 6 lessons, 6 big lessons, and within those lessons there are lots of short videos, 2 to 3 minutes for different techniques. So you can go back when you're not sure, you can go back to that exact place in the videos and repeat the bit if you need to. So I will lead you step by step, but I will also encourage you to go off and experiment and play with it, play with the ideas yourself. There's no strict rules here, as in all my courses. Most of the techniques could be used in many different ways and in different order. It don't have to be strictly the way I do it. Okay, so it's structured, but also there's a lot of freedom for you to develop in your own way. We'll work in a very creative, expressive way, not worrying about the figure being exactly in proportion or the head the right size. Basically, we're using the figure as a subject to enjoy making marks in our book. You can see here, it's just the outline of a figure, but then it's these shapes in between that have become probably more important than the figure. So in a way, it's quite abstracted in the way I've done it, but you might do it much more realistic. Okay, a few more. So I hope that interests you and you want to have a bit of fun with some figure drawing and really loosen up and not worry about it being a precise, exact figure. Really just enjoying, again, the materials and the marks that we can make.